Thanks, Amra. The other side of aisle spoke about his team's bravery in the first leg. Well, they're going to have to show all that again in this second half of this second leg. Having been dragged back level overall by Wolfsburg towards the end. Arsenal get this back underway. 1-1 we are. 3-3 on aggregate. We need a winner tonight, so extra time or even penalties could decide this one. Wolfsburg hitting back late on. The two-time Champions League winners, back-to-back, 2013-14. They've runners-up on 3 separate occasions as well. All against Lyon. And so Thomas Schwartz, I'm sure, will be delighted at the fact that Lyon are out of the competition, but the absolute test of Barcelona awaits either of these two come the final in Eindhoven. Well, he was once a winner on the same ground at his time at FC Twente and at the Cup as well before he made the move to Wolfsburg. On the side of Al and Tommy Schwartz starting their adventures as respective coaches at the same time. Here's Martin, that's a nice pass. Blackstenius waits for it, here she is! Stina Blackstenius! And the double for the Gunners! What a start to this second half! She just loves scoring in this semi-final. And this place on its feet and rocking again as Arsenal get themselves in front again. Now just looking to see whether there is an offside here in the build-up. And Blackstenius was there where it mattered to finish off. Super finish. And Stina Blackstenius, who has been absolutely on the money in the semi-finals. And it's not quite there yet in terms of checking the goal. Oh, and it's not going to count. So Blackstenius and Arsenal's celebrations could vary short indeed due to an offside in the build-up. But as tight as you can get. So a let-off for Wolfsburg. And here they come down at the other end through Pajor and Jonsdottir in behind now. Svandis Jonsdottir. He should keep her cool and composure. There's the cross, Catley. It's bouncing around awkwardly. And there's Pop. Now Oberdorf. Vuns. This could be an awkward one for Zinsberger. Under pressure. And the referee. Has she given a free kick? I think Zinsberger has actually claimed it. And in the end, all is okay for Arsenal. Drama at the start of this second half. and at both ends as well. Hoot with the challenge. The free kick has gone Arsenal's way. Is there going to be a card coming Svenja Hoot's way? Yes, there is. A record-breaking occasion here at the Emirates. 60,063, a women's record attendance for the Emirates Stadium. And still so much drama to come here, you feel, in this second half, Leanne Sanderson.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, with both managers, they'll be happy with how, I think Jodecidoval will be happy with how the first half went. But you look at this Wolfsburg bench, I've mentioned it many times before, it's far superior. Apart from Hurtig, maybe Arsenal can put in. Apart from that, there's a lot of youngsters who I probably look to see. Brand coming into the game, Vasmut coming into the game at some point. But I think Wolfsburg, as the half went on, they certainly looked like they grew into the game. Jonsdottir was getting on the ball, getting going. It's not just her pace, it's her prowess, it's everything. She's got everything, she really has. And if she's running at you, you can't really stop her.
I think there was just over 5,000 here for the first leg of the quarter-final last season. Over 60,000 here today. Over 240,000 tickets purchased for Emirates games this season alone. Just shows where the women's game is, and especially in this part of North London, as Payol gets the free kick. And a yellow card for Jem Beattie, who really has to be on her toes now.
Clever play from Payol there. She looked like she'd got the beating of Jem Beattie. I think it's always going to be a yellow card all day long. She got the wrong side of her, and a nice little turn. Fantastic peel out, you could see. Jem Beattie was getting nice and tight, but quality like Payol, she could spin you in the moment.
A good run at the moment of Wolfsburg. They've on a run of 5 matches in all competitions unbeaten since Bayern did beat them at the end of May, which could be a huge turning point in the Bundesliga title race. But Wolfsburg did go to Bayern in the Cup the following week and put 5 past them. 1-1 here. And here comes from Rauch. Full for Pop. And that's all about communication here. Oh, goodness me. And it will be a corner as the bounce has just completely done Manu Zinsberger.
It's been quite incredible, Chris. Over the 2 legs, the amount of mistakes defensively there's been. That's I don't want to say that's a miscommunication. I just think it's poor judgment from Zinsberger. I have no idea what she's doing there. And in the end, she got quite lucky that Janssen couldn't quite get there in the end. And it goes out for a corner. But over the both legs, loads of defensive mistakes.
Well, they're going to go short this time. And here's Rauch, who can provide quality. And Pop's header.
Not a bad attempt. There wasn't much pace on the ball from Rauch. You could see Alexander Pop just got something on it and guided it towards goal.
Well, 8 of her 14 Bundesliga goals this season have actually been headers. 3-time European winner, just with Wolfsburg, but with Duisburg as well. The heartache of missing out on that European Championship final for Germany against England. Oh, Stenius unfortunate.
Great turn and run from Palova there. Fantastic ball. You could see just overran Christina Blackstenius just a little bit, but fantastic play from Palova there. Nice little spin out. Nice ball into her path.
Well, this is the offside, and this is why the goal for Black Stenius was ruled out right at the start of this second half. As tight as can be.
Very tight. But she's always in the right areas, Stina Blackstenius. You can see she's always in those areas in the 6-yard box, occupying space. And people can say, you know, a tap-in's a tap-in like last week, but you have to be there in the right place at the right time, and it's a skill.
It's Payo. Rafaela putting everything through that.
Brilliant tackle from Rafaela. You could see in the first half as well, you know, they're getting nice and tight to these Wolfsburg players. You can't give them a moment to breathe on the ball. But then what does sometimes happens when you get too tight, you can get spun. But that's a fantastic tackle from Rafaela.
There's a civil engineering degree behind her from days at the University of Mississippi. Rafaela, who's a bit of a scorer in her uni days as well. She's sort of giving up the game as she saw better financial possibilities in engineering than football back home in Brazil. Move to China changed all that. And here she is in the colours of Arsenal. Jonsdottir.
Not a bad ball out wide from Henrik to Jonsdottir. Couldn't quite get hold of it. Stina Blackstenius was there to put her off, and it runs out of play for a throw. But you can see both teams, you know, obviously that goal was ruled offside at the beginning of this second half, but you can see both teams really, you know, as soon as they get going, you can't really stop them. But as Jonsdottir comes into this game, you know, more and more, I worry for Arsenal, because once she gets going, I think she's really difficult to stop.
She's just pinched that back. Here's Hendrik. Svenja Hoot straight to Catley. Drive on for Arsenal here, but Hoot has recovered well and stopped it from going out of play. Hendrik anywhere to turn. Only finds McCabe. The referee not buying it. Okay to McCabe.
You could see what she was trying there. You know, it wasn't a foul. You could see she tried to do a nice little piece of skill to get past them. You can see here, I don't think it is a foul. Fantastic trickery. And you can see Henrik didn't make any contact with Katie McCabe. But again, it was good pressure from Steph Catley in the initial play. You know, both teams are not turning over the ball easily. They're getting high pressed from both teams. And Steph Catley was looking for Stina Blackstenius inside. Couldn't quite find her, but fantastic recovery.
That's a great ball looking for Payo. Jonsdottir in the centre, if Payo can find her. Rafaela's there again for Arsenal.
I actually thought Payo should have played this first time. You could see Jonsdottir was making that run in the middle. I don't think she needed to take another touch, but Rafaela fantastic defending again. But I think the ball was from Payo into Jonsdottir, and it would have been a tap-in for her.
Well, they caught up with the corner count of Wolfsburg. Have improved scoring from set pieces as the season has gone on. When it comes from Raut, the awkward for Zinsberger. Oh, and headed back from Jonsdottir. And Arsenal getting bodies in the way to stop that trickling into the goal. Here's Raut again. Payo, the give and go is on. Super defending this time from Catley.
You can feel it, you know, Wolfsburg are growing into this game. You could see again, Maritz wanted to bring them down, but she couldn't because she's on that yellow card. I thought Zinsberger should have done better here. You know, she gets away with one. You could see underneath her, there was her defenders that were there, but I think she has to come again. It was Jen Beattie that was underneath her, but I think she has to come and take that. But Wolfsburg are certainly putting the pressure on.
There's a great block by McCabe as well. He stands on that far post again. And he comes and flicks on it in! The returning pop, popping up for Wolfsburg. And the two-time winners of this competition have turned this tie on its head. Again with a headed goal. And Alex Popp returning to the team and turning up in the big moments.
She's just so good. I mean, this is not the best of balls from Raut, but fantastic header from Alexander Popp. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant header. Gets across that near post. And that's why she's one of the best headers in the world. You know, here, great movement. Again, I highlighted her movement before the game. You know, there's 3 Arsenal players around her. I think they should defend her a lot better, but you can see last minute she makes that run on the back shoulder of Raphael. He comes across the front, and it's a brilliant header. You can feel it though. You can feel it coming. Wolfsburg were growing into the game more, getting on the ball more, but Arsenal need to remain calm now and cool and just play their game. They played well tonight, they really have, but this Wolfsburg team, they're just so good.
Against Everton in 2011, the last time she scored against an English team in Europe. Alex Popp, who has scored in a European final in 2015-16 in their defeat to Lyon. But now she has come up trumps here, and Wolfsburg, they lead at the Emirates.
You could see that before the game when Semma reeled off that stat that she hadn't scored. Again, I said, don't jinx us. And obviously, we're one of the best players in the world, Alexander Popp. She's so good. It's her movement, it's her ability to occupy space and unselfish runs. I said she's playing a lot deeper tonight than she usually does, but she's just so good.
A leader and a management player. Tommy Stroot describing her as at his press conference yesterday. She completed final training. She's trained all week after her injury that kept her out of last week. But wide now for Catley. Can Arsenal respond behind Blackstenius? Beyond everybody.
Good play from Arsenal, good ball from Steph Catley. It wasn't in front of Blackstenius. She couldn't quite get on the end of it. But this is when I think the injuries will come into play, because a lot of these players that are out there would have been players that have been coming off the bench. And you look at Arsenal's bench, there's not really a lot of impact players you could bring on. You know, Hurtig isn't that type of player that will grab you a goal. So this is when I worry for Arsenal, because they played well tonight, they really have, but they just don't have that strength in depth and able to bring someone into this game that can change the game.
Yeah, 4 academy products on the bench again for Arsenal. Reminder, no Miedemar, Mead, Williamson, Little, Ford. It's frightening, really, the talent that is out on the sidelines. Here's Palava, who impressed against Arsenal in the qualifiers for Ajax. That's Bonham.
She can hit them. She can hit them from there. You know, she didn't quite get hold of it, but you can see why it was on. We saw her score one of the best goals I've seen here at the Emirates this season as well. It's always going to be easy for Froms, but you can see why she hit that one.
Yep, stunner here against Bayern. She thought it went over. In that game, she caught it so well. One of the goals of the tournament. There's Noella Maritz. Rafaela over halfway. Still she goes on. It's going to go out of play, and McCabe was never really going to get on the end of that.
I don't think Rafael expected herself to be in that position. It was a great run. You know, you could see Payol was looking to defend that as well. Again, their centre forwards are so good at defending. They really are. They track all the way back, and in the end, it was just an overhit ball to Katie McCabe.
Well, Barcelona made history in this competition last season with a world record El Clasico crowd. Check out a brand new documentary about that night. The game that changed football is on DAZN now. We also have live games for you from the UWCL in the US every week. Check your schedule for availability. Here's Catley as Arsenal look to respond to the setback of falling behind.
We talk a lot about how comfortable Barcelona are on the ball, but Wolfsburg is so good in that back line. You could see there when Froms played the ball to Wilms and Janssen and got on the ball, you could see, you know, they're just so comfortable.
There's Payol. Arsenal are set to make a couple of changes. Laura Wienreuter had the returning Lena Hurtig as well. Hurtig, who came in from Juventus, struggled with form and injury since her arrival. Reuter, who will know Wolfsburg pretty well from her time at Hoffenheim. And Noella Maritz makes way for Wien Reuter in a straight swap over on that far side. And Blackstenius has played her part yet again in this semi-final. And Lena Hurtig comes on to replace her.
I think the Maritz one certainly makes sense because she's on a yellow card, but I would have personally left Stina Blackstenius on the field of play. You know, it looks like Frida Marnum's going to be playing in that 9 role now, but I feel like you have more chance of scoring if she's on the field of play. Her unselfish run, she's always in the right place at the right time. So, yet to be determined if that's the right decision from Jonas Ideval, but I wouldn't have done that personally.
Hurtig, who has scored a couple of goals against Zurich at the group stage. Oberdorf, it's a fabulous pass. Pop, not too much on that.
We won't concentrate too much on that mistake that Alexander Pop made, but that ball from Lena Oberdorf is absolutely brilliant. You know, on a dime, pings it about 40, 50 yards over the field of play. It was a brilliant ball.
I have to think Lena Oberdorf is still only 21 years of age. So at the last World Cup in France, she was still taking the school exams, incredibly. She will be the heart of Germany and Australia and New Zealand coming up this summer. Janssen certainly for the Netherlands. Flag is up on the far side.
And that all came from Alexander Pop's press from the front. It was absolutely brilliant. You know, if anybody's watching that's a centre forward that thinks we're only up there to score goals, defending wasn't my favourite thing to do, but the way Alexander Pop defends, you know, and Payot is absolutely brilliant. It really is, you know, recovering the ball, fantastic tackle, brilliant. So good. Not only putting the ball in the back of the net, but being able to do it, the dirty work on the other side of the ball as well.
There is Tommy Stroot. First season in charge, nailed a Bundesliga and German Cup double. Never really had a playing career, amateur level really, before he wanted to go to work at a tracksuit. He missed the winter training camp during the mid-off season, if you like. He's starting his pro license. He has an A license. That means that he can coach women's football in Germany, but not the men's. Methodical coach he is, and encouraging his team on the sidelines. Palava. Beating, with the urge to get forward here, Arsenal. Palova again for Wien Reuter. Getting behind Jonsdottir. Pop. He's certainly running the show in the second half.
That ball from Palova has to be overhit. You know, Wien Reuter was running in behind. There's enough space on his beautiful Emirates field of play that could be hitting behind, a little bit of backspin on it. Easier said than done. But I think that's what Blackstenius offers. You know, the pace and the purposeful runs that she makes.
Scoafelti. Here's Rafaela for Liavelti again. Test of nerve and character now of Arsenal. Seen it in abundance against Wolfsburg in the first leg. They're going to dig deep again now in the second leg. And that'll help though. The press from McCabe, putting Janssen under pressure and forcing the error.
Well done, Katie McCabe. You know, this game is not over at all. You know, they're at home. They can take a lot of pride and confidence from how they came from behind last week in Wolfsburg when their backs were against the wall and nobody expected them to come back into that game. So they can definitely do it.
This goes from McCabe, and the cross could be awkward for Forms. No problems.
That was interesting from Wien Reuter because it looked like it was almost a cross.
By Ralph Kellerman, who is the sport
come shot, but nearly caught Forms off guard there. But again, she's a fantastic goalkeeper. She really is.
Yeah, she was originally brought in by Ralph Kellerman, who is the sporting director now of Wolfsburg. Actually led Wolfsburg to European success as a coach. The Forms came in as a 16-year-old, but then had spells at the likes of Freiburg and did ever so well with Eintracht Frankfurt before returning back with Albert Schultz making a way to the UWCL. What a moment! What a moment for Hoot and for Wolfsburg, also for Arsenal. They're still in this.
Yeah, there has to be a goal. It's a fantastic play. You can see the gaps really, really opening up. You know, in this Arsenal team, you can see it. Katie McKay's having a conversation with Leo Volti. Great ball from Jons Dottier, but the gaps from before that were already there, you know, 20 or 30 yards. In this situation, I'd have expected Hoot to have scored. She has to score. You can see Jons Dottier was following up in behind. Pyle might have been the option, but I think she has to score in that situation. And there's sometimes moments in games that are turning points, and you think, we have a little bit of hope here.
Svenja Hoot hasn't scored since the end of February. Got a cup win against FC Köln. European success with the likes of FFC Frankfurt too. As Manu Zinsberger, the WSL's Golden Glove winner of last season, is just requiring a little bit of treatment. What do you think both coaches are saying to their respective players here?
Well, Jonas Cedarveld needs them to offer more. I think for Wolfsburg, they'll be happy with how things are going. You know, they've played their way into the game even more. They look more confident. You can see Jill Roord in the second half. She's been brilliant. She's getting on the ball in between the lines, you know, and it's something Arsenal can't take care of. You can see that instance before where Jill Roord was getting on the ball. You know, Marnham couldn't get near her. She popped it out wide. So I think Arsenal just have to believe. They'll take a lot of confidence from last week, but they have to believe a little bit more and have a little bit better quality.
11 minutes when Black Stenius opened the scoring, and then Roord with a hammer blow just before half-time. And then this from Alex Popp. Back from injury, back with a bang.
Nothing phases them, you know, coming here in a sold-out stadium, it won't phase them because they know their quality. I almost say they're like cogs in an engine. These German teams are so difficult to play against. You know, we were never able to beat them. We were never able to beat Germany until 2015 in the World Cup. They were just so good. We thought we could beat them, but they just were always so strong and good in the attack and defensively. Were so hard to break down.
As many as 8 of these Wolfsburg players were part of Martina Voss-Tecklenburg's Germany's team and squad for the Euros last summer. Tabea Vasmut has history on this ground, a scorer there at the quarterfinal last season, and is going to be coming on here for the She-Wolves very soon. Rafaela into the final 20 minutes of the 90. May we need more. Beatty with the turn. What a turn that was. Monham to hit it. Oh. That was a challenge. And Lotte Rupen-Moy with a very, very timely intervention. Flag is up anyway.
She didn't know that. That was absolutely brilliant from Lotte Rupen-Moy, putting herself on the line. Fantastic tackle. You can see it looks like Arsenal have gone to a 3-back. Jen Beatty looks like she's gone all the way up top, but this is an absolutely fantastic ball. Brilliant run, you know, and they knew it was offside. Looked like Lotte Rupen-Moy put her hand up, but this is a brilliant tackle. Brilliant tackle. And there are moments in a game, Chris, that happen, that miss from Hoot, you know, this situation that can get you fired up. But it looks like Jen Beatty's gone up top now.
So Rupen-Moy, I mean, England do have some real options at centre-back for the World Cup.
It's difficult now as well because now Jen Beatty's gone up front. You could see there one ball beat them. Pyle got in behind. So you want to try and get back into the game and win the game. But then there will be more spaces for Wolfsburg to capitalise on that in behind, as we just saw just there.
Well, after tonight, we'll know the finalists for the showpiece event of the women's football calendar, the Women's Champions League final. June the 3rd, it's live on DAZN. And next season, by the way, DAZN.com and DAZN app, but the only places you can see every Women's Champions League game live, with select games shown free on DAZN's YouTube channel. Hurtig with the control. And Oberdorf penalised this time. Just a little rash here. Lena Oberdorf, who said that she used to watch videos of Sergio Ramos on YouTube growing up, taking inspiration.
You can see she's just a player that loves defending. I mentioned it before, you know, she gets tight to you. She's so physical, and especially at her age of 21 is incredible, really. She plays well beyond her years, but she has given away a free kick in a really dangerous area for Arsenal.
Bikatley. Amanum there again. Beattie just looking to try and get away from Janssen. And keep herself on side as well as it's played in towards her. Wibbermoy keep the momentum going here as Wolfsburg have a player. Oh, down, but Beattie is there! Jan Beattie with one of the biggest goals of her life, drawing Arsenal level here. Wolfsburg will have something to say about it.
Absolutely brilliant. You know, I said it before. Jan Beattie's been pushed up into that 9 row, and it was a brilliant header. It looks like they're checking the goal, potentially for a foul or offside. We'll have to wait and see. It's a brilliant ball from Lotte Wibbermoy. Fantastic header from Jan Beattie. I don't really see much in that at all. I don't see what they're checking.
One centre-back crosses for another, equals goal for Arsenal.
Brilliant header. Absolutely brilliant.
Although, as you say, they are checking for a foul. It might have just come before Jan Beattie put the ball in the net. It's some header, by the way, from Jan Beattie. Well, he has scored in the FA Cup this season. As Pyor is going to come off here and be replaced by Tabea Vasmut. But the check is over, all is good.
It wasn't a foul from what I could see. It didn't look like a foul. I could see why they're appealing for it, because they don't want the goal to be given, but
still in communication here with Paolo Valeri, our video assist. Although we have got a communication appeared to say that the check is over. But still the Emirates waits what's going to happen. Jan Beattie, goodness me, over 5 years since the last European goal. If it stands, it does. There's the confirmation. We've got a gripping finale on our hands now. Strap yourselves in. 2-2, 4-4 on aggregate. But here's Jonstad here down at the other end. He's done brilliantly well. Jonstad here. Still she goes on. There's Hurtig back. Feli Rauch. And now McCabe. Also got to put the ball out of play here. I think Reuter's in some real distress. And there's some real concern here.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
Yeah, going down, feeling the left knee, I think. And this doesn't look good, considering the injuries, or the type of injury that Arsenal have had to deal with this season. Now you've been there.
Yeah, I feel for Reuter, because you just know as a player, hopefully it's not as bad as it looks. certainly looks like she's going to have to come out of the game. But, you know, this Arsenal team has showed incredible mentality to get back into this game. Jen Beattie scored a goal and has gone straight back into that centre-back role again. Score a goal, go back. So, you know, absolutely brilliant mentality from Arsenal. You can see, I feel for Veen Reuter, I really do, because it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. But interesting to see what Jonas Sidival does here, because he doesn't really have a lot of, you know, he mentioned it before, 4 academy players on the bench, which is absolutely brilliant for him to be able to have those types of players coming through the system. I came through that system myself, but you know, it's not the type of game you'd expect to have to bring them on into. But I feel for Veen Reuter, I really do, because it doesn't look good at all.
Well, the crowd had just been told of the record attendance here. As Veen Reuter up onto her feet. Lara Veen Reuter. Made her European debut for Arsenal last season against Wolfsburg, actually, in a second leg loss at Wolfsburg. The hope, the absolute hope, is that it doesn't look, or is not as serious as it does look for Lara Veen Reuter here. So cue the change, and cue the introduction of Katrina Kuhl.
This is why having a squad is so important, you know, having players feel part of it, even if you play minimal minutes, having everybody involved, because Jen Beattie didn't expect, you know, to have had to have probably played a bigger role as she has within these legs, but I really do hope that Veen Reuter is going to be okay. You can see she's getting a fantastic ovation from the crowd, going off on the stretcher.
Yeah, she's getting a terrific ovation from the Arsenal fans, also the Wolfsburg fans over on that far side. Veen Reuter will make her way. Off, and Katrina Kuhl, a young Dane, is going to be coming on here. He came off the bench in the first leg. She did start their last WSL game against Manchester United. A January signing with Pelova. And we wish Lara Veen Reuter all the very best. At a speedy recovery. Confirmation of the Vasmut change. This is Vasmut on, fresher legs up there in place of Eva Pajor as the game restarts. Here's Hoot. Watched by Rafaela. Wilms is ball in. Hurtig. Pop. Oh, cool and calm as you like. Oh, Videmar there in support as well, as she was being carried off and down the tunnel. Lara Veen Reuter. I know exactly, possibly, what she's going through.
That was absolutely brilliant play from Alexandra Pop there. So calm in that situation. You could see she was trying to play a nice intricate pass through in between the centre-back and full-back position. But Arsenal need to just remain the mentality monsters, you know. They need to keep doing exactly what they're doing. I'm so proud of this team, because they've had everything thrown at them, injuries, and they've really found themselves back in the game again.
Here's Pelova. Vasmut penalised.
So all you need is one opportunity and one chance. You know, it's been a fantastic game. There's been so many things that have happened within this game that have really knocked Arsenal off of their, you know, well, Veen Reuter's had to go out, but they've gone behind in this game and come back. It's been brilliant, it really has. And all you need is one opportunity, and it could be now. You know, Steph Catley, Freedom Adams over the ball, nice ball into the box. You've got Jen Beattie there, Hurtig, Lotte Wubben-Moy, who are really good in the air.
Left for Catley. Oh, towards Beattie again. It's Rood. And Oberdorf. Cool. We're finding Wilms. It's just a little too wasteful. And Lynn Wilms. Is there a problem here for Jen Beattie, who's gone down?
It's interesting because both teams have made substitutions in that centre forward area, and both teams need a goal. I'm surprised that Pyle went off, 8 goals, top goal scorer in this competition. Stina Blackstenius has gone off, and I'm sure Jonas Hideva wishes she was still on the field of play because, they were throwing everything at it. You could see it, and Arsenal was certainly still in this game.
He's still got game changers on his bench as well. Tommy Stroys, he only made 1 change in the first leg, 1 substitution. He's done the same here with Vasmud coming on. The likes of Jule Brand is there. And Paulina Bremer, also a player who has a record of scoring against Arsenal in a WSL time with Manchester City. He doesn't really have those options now when you're looking at academy graduates. And 2 goalkeepers making up the rest of the substitutes for Arsenal.
Hopefully it's just a little bit of cramp for Jen Beattie and she'll be okay. I mean, she's been everywhere today. She's been in the back line, got player of the match last week, recovered very well from that early mistake within the game, but she's been brilliant today. She really has. And sometimes, I mentioned it before, you need some players that can step up when they're playing minimal minutes. You can see what it means to these Arsenal players that are injured. Caitlin Fall, Beth Mead, Jodie Taylor down there, really getting behind the team, and I'm sure that they wish they were out there right now.
Encouragement that Beth Mead is back running at least. Also had a visit from Tobin Heath this week as well at training. Beattie's back on. Here's Oberdorf. That's Dottier, who does have an enormous throw-in on her to get things going. Time ticking away towards the 90, where if it stays like this, we will go into extra time. Asmuk looking to make that move. In behind, Hurtig. Away from Rood, can she wriggle away from Oberdorf? She can. Pelova. Hurtig again, heavy touch from Herder.
My concern is if this goes to extra time, I don't know if Arsenal have enough in their tank to be able to, maybe people thought that last week, but I think Wolfsburg, it sets up nicely for them if it does go to. There's still time to play, I can see this one going either way.
Alex Pop right through the back here of Pelova.
Yeah, Pelova would have definitely felt that one. I'm surprised Alexander Pop hasn't got a yellow card there. No malice in it, but that definitely would have hurt.
Alex Pop to think that she considered international retirement after the Euros. When she found out she wasn't going to be playing in the final, she said that she could have smashed anything she could have found. Such was the disappointment, how different that final could have been with her on the pitch. And looking ahead and looking forward to another World Cup, this time down under in the summer. Wubben-Moy. Cool. Pelova. Marnon will get the corner and just brings this crowd to life again.
You can see Katie McCabe encouraging the crowd there. Absolutely brilliant play, getting down the end line. Pelova played a really nice ball to Frida Marnham. And this is a chance here, late on in the game. It's a chance for someone to be a hero.
To the final 90 seconds of the 90. Rafaela, Beattie, Wubben-Moy. The height of Hurtig could cause issues here for Forms. right in front of Meliforms. And it comes. There is Beattie. McCabe. Oh, and then Marnham can't do more with it.
Yeah, you can see Katie McCabe, but the whole crowd was saying shoot whenever she got the ball. It did sit up, but Frida Marnham, you know, it was asking a lot for her to be able to direct that on goal. There was quite a lot of power behind that from Katie McCabe. It was a cross, somewhat come shot.
It's got a beauty against Manchester City recently, Katie McCabe.
Last season in the WSL, the only goal she ever scores were unbelievable goal of the season contentions.
Well, Svenja Hoot is being replaced here by Pauline Bremer, who will be departing the club at the end of the season. Pauline Bremer, what a way to go out if she was to get all the way to the final and win it.
Hoot's been brilliant today. She's been everywhere on the attack, defending, you know. She's been absolutely brilliant. She really has covered a lot of ground, defending on the other side of the ball as well.
7 more minutes to be had here at the Emirates. Well, Barcelona are there. Barcelona in their 3rd final in a row, having beaten Chelsea. Just the 72,000 at the Camp Nou for that second leg. Getting over the line. Who gets over the line here? There is Bremer. Palova. Marnham. Pop. Switch it now for Vasmut, but Catley covered it well. Hurting, penalised.
That was soft. I think it was really good play from Steph Catley in the initial instance. She got there nice and close, and I think it was quite harsh, but Hurtig did go in the back of her, so I can see why.
Here's Jonsdottir. Have a go at McCabe, but showing all of her experience there. Now shall not pass, says Katie McCabe.
Well done, Katie McCabe. Absolutely brilliant defending. Jonsdottir is not an easy defender to have to attacker to have to defend, but brilliant play from Katie McCabe.
Well, the armband to the end of the season. Katie McCabe. They're looking to guide and lead the Republic of Ireland as well at the World Cup occasion that will be for her in a country for the first time at a World Cup. Vasmut will get there and keep it in play. Rafaela firmly closing the door on Tabea Vasmut, who can play out wide. She can play centrally as well. Will be Bremer coming on now as soon as the central option.
Great defending from Rafaela. She's been really good today, getting nice and tight, not giving Vasmut any opportunity to get going, but that was really good defending.
A great chance to score in the first leg, Tabea Vasmut. And the game was a 2-1 to Wolfsburg. Catley. Should be a Wolfsburg throw, it is. I saw one for Steph Catley. Melbourne's finest. There is Marina Hegering just watching on. Let's see, for the first time really in this second leg, the Jonsdottir throw right on the head of Hurtig. Here's Roord, but for Jonsdottir. Up against Catley, settled for the corner.
Well done, Steph Catley, because Jonsdottir, I said it before, once she gets going, she's really difficult to stop.
Proper squeaky bum time now here at the Emirates. Rauch will take this. Player in a 4th season at the club after a move from Turbine Potsdam, one of the great names of German football, towards that near post again. And it will be a goal kick. Bremer can't believe it.
I thought that was actually a corner, but you can see they were trying to do that exact corner again. But to Bremer from Rauch on that front post, but Arsenal defended that very well. I actually thought that was a corner, but it's gone for a goal kick.
We've had 5 of 7 additional minutes played. Do Arsenal have one more chance left in them to have a go at Wolfsburg? 7-time German champions. Forward by Hendrich. Away by Catley. As far as Wilms. And now Pauline Bremer. And this cross is cut out by Wibbermoy. Velti. Wilms staying forward here for Wolfsburg. Jambiti keeping it cool.
That ball from Bremer was actually quite strange because she underhit it and it needed to be overhit. You can see Alexander Popp on the back post was ready for the ball.
Arsenal, who have never beaten Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg, who beat Arsenal en route to the 2013 final. There's history to repeat itself here. As Jonsdottir sends this one in. Proper test for Zinsberger, and she has passed it.
Well done, Zinsberger. Exactly what you need in those situations. You know, there's only 30 seconds to go in this additional time. That's exactly what you need your goalkeeper to do. Come out and receive the ball.
But it's up for Hurtig to chase. As Janssen puts it out, and maybe one last chance for Arsenal here to steal it right at the end. Rafaela, coolly done. It's got to get forward. It's got to get in there. Velti. There's not going to be time. We will go on here at the Emirates. Fascinating it has been for 97 plus minutes. And Jambiti coming back to head in an equaliser for 2-2 and 4-4 on aggregate at the